Hey guys, so I just arrived in Bremen. That's where we're going to be doing the travel vlog today. I actually just got blitzed on my way over here. If you don't know what that is, it means that they had a machine on the side of the street and I was going too fast and they blitz you and they take a picture of you and it's really embarrassing, and then you get a ticket, and it was a bad start to the day. But anyways, so today is a travel vlog in Bremen, and this is actually a city that means a lot to me. This is the city that I got my undergraduate degree in at Jacobs University, and so I was here for 3 years, and I also met my partner in the city, and we're actually going to go by where we had our first date, and his parents still live here, so we travel here quite often, and I'm excited to show you guys the city. Today I'm going to be talking about the top things that you can do. This includes the Rathaus, the city hall, Schlachte, this medieval little town called Schnoor, so I'm really excited to get started. Just a little background about the city of Bremen. Has about 600,000 residents, so it's a pretty good sized city for Germany. It's located right on the Weser River, and it's known as being a port town, and this is one of the reasons why in World War II it was bombed so heavily, was because it was strategically important. Bremen was also a part of the Hanseatic League, and this was founded either in the 12th or 13th century. I'll have to look that up. And this was just more of like a trade coalition or like a guild coalition, but it also had like some defensive features, and that was pretty much found all over like Northern and Central Europe. So it still has that name today. If you look on license plates, it'll say HB for Hanseatic State of Bremen. So that's something that's really interesting. Most of the places we're going today have fortunately been spared from bombing or have been repaired since World War II. We're very fortunate that we have what we do have here in the city. Okay, I think we should get going. Hey guys, I'm just sitting near the market square. I'm actually sitting under the Rathaus right now. There's some benches here. It is so cold today. I can't feel my hands, and I've only been here for like 5 minutes just walking around. So the market square is actually where they'll also have the Christmas market during the winter. So this whole place is actually usually packed full of people and packed full of cool stalls, but right now it's pretty empty. It's Sunday and everything pretty much closes down in Germany on Sundays. But across the way is Böttcherstraße. I'll take you there. I can see Roland from here. This is really the place that you should start if you're coming to Bremen. One of the first things you'll notice when you enter the Marktplatz is a big statue right in the center, and this is Roland. Bremen Roland is a statue of a knight and hero that worked under the Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne, whose greatest accomplishment was uniting much of Western and Central Europe. The statue that is found in the market square was erected in 1404, but is the third to stand in this spot. According to legend, as long as Roland watches over the city, Bremen will remain free and independent. If you keep looking past Roland, you'll see the Rathaus, or Bremen City Hall. This is the seat of the Senate and Mayor of Bremen. The state parliament is found in a modern building also found in the market square. This building is built in both the Gothic and Weser Renaissance style. There are 16 sculptures of emperors, prince-electors, and philosophers that you can see at the pinnacles. The new town hall is located right behind it. Although built in the early 20th century, it was designed to be harmonious with the architecture of the original Rathaus. If you keep turning to your right, you'll see the Bremen Cathedral, or Bremer Dome. This was dedicated to St. Peter. The first church on this site was built in 789, so in the 8th and 9th centuries, Christianity had just begun to spread to what is now northern Germany, especially under the reign of Charlemagne, but the oldest parts of the current church were constructed during the 11th century. Keep turning to the right, you can see Starbucks, and that's where I had my first date with my boyfriend. Basic, I know. Then if you keep turning, you can see the entrance to Böttcherstraße. This is a very narrow street that I'll take you to in a little bit, and it's off to the back of the market square. Keep turning, and finally you'll see Schutting. This was originally a guild house for merchants and tradesmen, and then it was eventually in 1849 transformed into Bremen's Chamber of Commerce. The town musicians of Bremen, or the Bremer Stadtmusikanten, is based off of a Grimm Brothers fairy tale that has the same name. It tells the story of 4 hard-working farm animals that were mistreated and oppressed by their masters, and they eventually decided to run away to Bremen, a city that represented freedom. Ironically, they never actually made it to Bremen because they stumbled upon a house along the way, and they actually scared these robbers out of the home by standing on each other's backs to scare them from the house. And then they took it over. And after some drama, they decided to happily live out the rest of their lives in this house. And the statue is really iconic and a focal point for the city. So any type of souvenir that you want to buy will have these animals on them. Böttcherstraße is about 100 meters long, so it's a very short street, but it's packed full of different types of art museums and smaller shops, and there's a candy store, so there's a ton to see there. Most of the buildings on the street were built in the early 20th century in the brick expressionist style. The architectural style uses a rough and angular form of ornamentation. The buildings and art on the street were erected under the supervision of Ludwig Roselius, a known Nazi supporter, and the Lichtbringer, the big golden facade, was meant to be a tribute to Hitler, but he actually rejected the architecture and art on Böttcherstraße, naming it degenerate art. Like I said, now the street is known for being an artistic center with boutique stores and museums. From the Middle Ages onwards, Böttcherstraße has linked the marketplace with the Weser. We're going to go to Schlachte now. You just have to cross this big street, but you actually go under and over, so I'll take you there with me. And this was the harbor, so it was like the most used harbor until the 19th century when they moved it up to Bremerhaven. Okay, we're already here. Really, you'll recognize in Bremen that you don't really need to take public transportation at all. You can walk everywhere by foot, so just bring good shoes and you'll be good to go. Everything really is within walking distance, even the places we're going to go later today. So now we're on the Schlachte. This is right on the Weser River. It's really beautiful. If you come here during the summer, you'll see chairs everywhere for beer gardens, like where you just sit out and drink beer when the sun is shining, if it ever shines in Bremen. I'm not sure right now. Don't come here in the winter, come here in the summer. This is also where they have their Christmas market. So they have 2 different Christmas markets in Bremen, or 3. No, I think 2. One is within the city center, kind of in the market square where I was just showing you. And then another one on the Schlachte. And the one on the Schlachte is like medieval themed. And I think they have themes on top of that. So I remember one year I came here and it was pirate themed, which is really cool. But it's really still an interesting time to come here. Hey guys, I probably look like a crazy person, but I found this like little corner where I don't get bombarded by wind, so I'm just gonna stay here. So I just walked about 6 minutes from the Schlachte to Schnoor, and you guys, there have been a few times where I felt like I'm in a fairy tale, and Schnoor is definitely one of them. I think the other times were probably like Disney World, obviously. And then Giethoorn, I don't know if you guys have heard of this in the Netherlands. It's like a place where you can't really drive cars into it, and they've got these beautiful canals. Maybe I'll put a picture up. And it's just so quiet and so peaceful and so relaxing, and that also makes me feel like a fairy tale. But anyways, this video is not about Giethoorn. This video is about Bremen, and the Schnoor is this medieval neighborhood that was actually preserved from the bombing in World War II, and you just feel like you're walking into another time period. It's so magical. It's sad that it's such a small area, but you can still get lost in it because the streets are so small. I'm going to take you guys into it so you can see for yourself. Schnoor is the last remaining neighborhood from the medieval times that has survived to the present day in Bremen. This was an area where ropes and cables were produced, hence the name Schnoor, and it was actually quite a poor area at the time. Some of the oldest homes here were built during the 15th century, but most of them are from the 17th and the 18th centuries. The neighborhood luckily survived much of the bombing during World War II, but during and after it was actually in incredibly poor repair, but was luckily restored and renovated because of a ordinance in 1959 from the city of Bremen that dedicated funds to it. Now you can go there and grab dinner or a coffee and some cake, do a little bit of shopping. They've got a ton of small artistic and boutique stores, and it's just a really nice way to spend an evening meandering through the town. I'm just walking 10 minutes from the city center to the probably coolest or hippest neighborhood that they have in Bremen, definitely the most lively, and it's called Viertel, which literally translates to neighborhood or quarter. And you know, it's Sunday, so there isn't that much going on, just because, I don't know if you know this, but everything shuts down in Germany on Sundays, except for maybe restaurants and cafes and things like that, but all the stores, for example, are shut. And Viertel is really known for having these really cute boutique stores and a lot of restaurants and cafes. So if you're here for a day or two, definitely come here to go to a restaurant and go out to eat, and you won't be disappointed. It's a bit different than the rest of the city, I would say. This is where Bremen residents really come to hang out with friends and to go out to eat, so it's not going to be as costly as going out to eat in the city center, because that's where all the tourists go out to eat. Hey guys, so that is Bremen. I hope you really enjoy the day. I know that I was whinging a bit because it's so cold outside. I'm so bad when it's cold. At least I had a bit of a burrito break and I stopped and grabbed some coffee, so that helped a lot. But yeah, if you have any questions about Bremen, go ahead and slide into my comments or send me a private message. I'd be happy to answer them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Okay, have a good day guys. See you next Monday.